Welcome to day 45 of the school year. Let's go ahead and get that filled in. Okay. Let's get down our beginning fraction. We have 180 total school days. We're on day 45. Let's find the factors of our numerator, 45. Two factors we always know are 1 and the number itself. Using the commutative property of multiplication, I can also do 45 times 1. Now we're going to check our factors using our divisibility rules, and we're going to go in order. So after 1, we're going to try 2. The rule for 2 is that it ends in an even number. It ends in an odd number. So 2 is not a factor, and actually no even number will be, because if 2 is not a factor, no other even number will work as a factor. So we just need to check our odd numbers. The rule for 3 is that we add the digits together. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 is a multiple of 3, so 3 is a factor. 3 times 15, 15 times 3. We try 5. The rule for 5 is that it ends in a 0 or 5. It ends in a 5, so 5 is a factor. 5 times 9, 9 times 5. And then the only odd number between 5 and 9 is 7. That's the only counting or natural number between 5 and 9. So let's try 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49. 45 is not in that list, so 7 is not a factor. Then we get to 9. So we're done. Let's list our factors from least to greatest. 1, 3, 5, 9, 15, 45. We have 6 factors, so it is composite. And now we want to find our greatest common factor, so let's start with our greatest factor of 45. Remember, your groups do not have to look like mine. They just have to have 45 in each. And you want to keep your shaded separated from your unshaded. So here, 5 plus 40 is 45. 10, 20, 30, 40. Plus 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, we get 45. Oh, yay, 45 worked, our first one. So that means 45 is our greatest common factor. Now we just need to count up our total amount of groups. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 total groups, and we have 1 shaded in. Now 4 is one of those special numbers that we could turn into 100 when we multiply, and that means we can find our percent. Cent, if you remember, means 100. So this is through 100. 4 times 25 is 100. And 1 times 25 is 25. As a decimal, 25 hundredths, and then 25 per 100, or 25%. If you notice, this looks like money, 25 cents, that's a quarter. Well, this is called a quarter. 1/4 is called a quarter because it's 1 out of 4 sections. So that is actually why the money is called that, because it takes 4 quarters to make $1. A quarter of time is 15 minutes, because there's 4 groups of 15 minutes in an hour. So 1/4 means 1 out of 4. In football, it's cut into 4 pieces, so they're called quarters. So we have completed 1/4 of the school year, 25%. We have 3 quarters left, or 75%. Okay, we've done our division with our model. Let's go ahead and do it with our algorithm also. Divide by our greatest common factor of 45. So unless you happen to know your 45s, which is not likely, I shouldn't see a 4 here. I don't know my 45s necessarily. I actually do, but let's see. I'm going to do one group of 45, because I know what 1 times 45 is. I'm trying to prove it in a different way, not use numbers I've already used in different sections, because I may have made a mistake over there. Okay, I have more on the floor. Go next door, regroup 10 more. 10 take away 5 is 5. 7 take away 4 is 3, and then 1. 1 times 45. Numbers the same, 0 is the game. 13 take away 4 is 9. One group of 45. More on the floor. Go next door. Regroup 10 more. 10 take away 5 is 5. 8 take away 4 is 4. 1 times 45 is 45. Numbers the same. 0 is the game. We add these together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then here, 1 times 45 is 45. Numbers the same, 0 is the game. Get 1. So we still need to check. Divisor times quotient plus remainder. Divisor times quotient plus remainder. Since our remainder for both is 0, and the identity property of addition says when you add 0, it stays the same, we don't need to actually add it if it's just going to stay the same. 4 groups of 5 is 20. 4 groups of 4 tens is 16 tens, plus 2 more is 18 tens. And here we have the identity property of multiplication. When you multiply by 1, it stays the same. 1 group of 5 is 5. 1 group of 40 is 40. Then we see if it checks 45. That matches our dividend up here. Check. 180 matches our dividend up here. Check. So our numerator is definitely 1, and our denominator is definitely 4. All right, let's go ahead and fill in our data collection page. We are still in trimester 1, week 10. Today is 10, 10, 19. And our fraction for today, let's write it kind of small, is 1/4, also called 1/4, because 1 out of 4 pieces is called a quarter. That is why the coin quarter is called that, because it takes 4 quarters to make a dollar. Okay, so it's the same as 25 hundredths. In money, that would be 25 cents, which is what a quarter is worth, which is equivalent to 25%. So we've finished 25% of the school year. We have 75% left, also called 1/4 of the school year. We have 3/4 of the school year left. Okay, let's go ahead and get out our number line. We did groups of 45. So find your 45 way down here, all the way over. So we have 4 sections of this. So we've completed 1 out of 4 sections of this school year. And we have an equivalent fraction in the 15s. 15 is a common factor. In the 9, 9 is a common factor. In the 5, 5 is a common factor. 3 is a common factor. And then 45 180ths. So 1/4, that is our equivalent fraction in lowest terms or simplest form. Right, go ahead and put your number line away, erase your worksheet, and thank you for joining me.